Next, we will have Earl Hatley speak. His voice is the voice of an enrolled citizen of the Missisquoi Band of Abenaki Nation with Cherokee and Shawnee heritage, and also the voice of a disabled veteran. Welcome, Earl.
Is that good? Quiet, everyone. It's my honor to be here and to be able to speak to all of you today and to the legislature if they're able to hear. Today we're concerned about one of our commons. We have air, land, water, soil, forest as our common. Our air is our common and it's polluted, so badly polluted that we're facing this climate crisis. 50 years ago, the oil and gas industry knew this, yet fueled the delay by our federal and state governments in responding to the crisis that we now face. They knew this day was coming 50 years ago and yet funded this delay, first through the campaign of denial, and now with their delaying tactics. Which could prevent us from reaching or staying below 1.5 degrees Celsius. As the IPCC states, we have 8 to 10 years in order to accomplish this goal. Yet if you listen to leading scientists like Dr. James Hansen, former NASA scientist who blew the whistle on this back in 1980, we don't have that long, maybe half that time. Biofuels represent this delaying tactic by the fossil fuel industry and their politicians they fund and lobby. Biofuels are the new fossil fuels promoted by the fossil fuels industry to work within their infrastructure and are just as bad for the climate, indigenous peoples, and rainforests as fossil fuels. We don't need transition fuels. We need a transition. We cannot no more occupy the rainforests and our agricultural lands for the growing of our energy and expect this will help the climate any more than we can expect to mine our way out of climate change. Mining for minerals critical to solar, wind, and battery storage is conducted on indigenous lands, national parks and forests where our sacred sites are located. Mining contributes 10% of the greenhouse gases. Add to that the ore processing and the transportation, and that increases to 26% of the greenhouse gases that we experience. As co-chair of the Western Mining Action Network and chair of our Indigenous Caucus, I had the honor in October of going out to Thacker Pass, which is a proposed lithium mine in Nevada on Shoshone-Paiute lands. This would be the world's largest lithium mine and would destroy their sacred sites. Depending on the mineral needed for solar, wind, and battery storage, 70 to 97% of these minerals are found on indigenous lands, both in North America and around the world. What we need are smart towns that enable us to reduce our demand, conserve, plan well, and generate the rest of the energy we need in state, with a focus on conservation. Conservation meaning weatherization and energy use reduction. Mass transit, free mass transit, both urban and rural, and a circular economy, which is recycling and reusing metals that have already been mined in products that are recycled. Towns where walking and bicycling are practical. These will reduce the need for mining and be a more just transition for indigenous peoples and workers and our communities. So what we need are courageous politicians to stop playing these delaying tactic games. We need courageous politicians to stand up for the demands of the people for clean energy. We need courageous politicians to stop the carbon trade and build low carbon power for Vermont. We need to ensure a just transition to low carbon electricity solutions for all Vermonters. We need courageous politicians like the two representatives that are with us now today and will be speaking after me. And I want to thank them for being here and thank you for allowing me to speak. We'll do